Fender's been announcing a bunch of interesting stuff recently, so I thought we could take a look. First we have this Fender traditional Stratocaster from Fender Japan, which is a urethane finish in an alder body. It does have a 9.5-inch radius on a U-shaped neck. That's not my favorite shape, but that's what we have here. 21 vintage style frets and that reversed headstock. It comes with gold hardware and a 6-saddle vintage style synchronized tremolo and vintage style single coil strap pickups and an anodized pickguard, eggshell colored plastic on the control knobs and things like that. They will be available in Japan for about $1,200. And speaking of Japan, moving on, Fender has announced their first ever flagship store in Tokyo's Harajuku area this summer, and so they'll carry every Fender product, and so I'm sure that's very exciting to our friends over in Japan. And moving on, this was announced a little while ago. Fender partnered with Wrangler to make some accessories, so they have a denim strap and a denim case that looks cool, and a ripped up strap and a pick, and some other apparel and accessories if you happen to be a fanboy of the denim company, Wrangler. And moving on, we have the Troy Sanders Precision Bass, which was announced a couple weeks ago from the bass player of Mason Town.
And it comes with active pickups being able to go passive,
preamp,
traditional stuff a little better, and it also handles the low like a charm.
Speaking of high gain in metal, BMG has announced that they have made Jazzmaster pickups. They're famous for making their active humbuckers and their single coils, but they have finally made J-Master pickups in their retroactive series, and they look great, and I'm sure they sound even better. And moving on again is a new bass amp in collaboration between Fender and Adam Clayton, who is the bass player of the band U2. Say what you will about U2, love them or hate them. They have a long, successful career,
and within that, but I think, I think you can get...
Moving on again is something that was just announced, which is a new signature model Strat from Michael Landau, the Coma Stratocaster, or Stratocasters. Michael Landau is a famous studio musician that you've heard on over 700 albums. He played on Pink Floyd, Miles Davis, Joni Mitchell, and countless others, Phil Collins, Stevie Nicks, and so on. And it is a super Strat of sorts with a humbucker in the bridge, which is a wide field humbucker, and this weird kind of bridge which almost looks like it was like a Floyd Rose at some point or something like that, and it kind of looks beat up in age, and that's pretty cool. Well, I'm sure it sounds better than it looks. Moving on to some Charvel news. Charvel is a subsidiary of Fender. They do own them, and they make very much Stratocaster Fender-looking guitars, if you can't tell from here. And I'm not familiar with this guitarist, but Prashant Eswani is a solo artist, a guitarist, and this is his signature model from Charvel, which has 2 humbuckers. Next, we have another look at a Starcaster from Tom DeLonge from the band Blink-182. They do have a new album coming out soon, and he has a new signature Starcaster, I believe, coming out. And this one here has the Blink-182 logos as the inlays, and it has a Roswell newspaper kind of as the finish, because if you don't know, Tom is very much into UFOs, exposing the truth, as he would say. And he posted another picture here of what looks like a kind of custom art version of a similar kind of thing. So maybe we can look forward to custom finishes and more cool stuff with the Tom DeLonge Starcaster. And another thing that's worth mentioning is the Players Series right now is on sale with bundles up to $180 off if you get it with an amp or other accessories, so that might be worth checking out if you're interested in the Players Series. And lastly here, worth mentioning is just recently Fender released new Kunifi pickups for Strats and Tellys. And what makes Kunifi pickups different is Kunifi stands for copper, nickel, and iron, and they are magnets that do buck the hum, but they manage to retain the shimmer and shine of a classic Fender single coil. So they are kind of noiseless pickups of a sort, and I hope they sound great because they are very expensive. And so that's all the news from Fender for now, but I thought it would be worth going over because Fender had been announcing a bunch of good stuff recently. So thanks for watching, and until next time, play Fenders. Take care now.